Man City striker Erling Haaland shows true colours with box office answers in rare press conference. Manchester City striker Erling Haaland faced the media on international duty, offering essential viewing and a rare insight into his mindset. Please subscribe in our channel and press the like button for support us. If you are a real Manchester City fan, activate the notifications for don't miss anything in next hours. Just as if he was facing a Premier League defence, Erling Haaland took no prisoners when he made a rare press conference appearance on Wednesday. Away from Manchester City, Haaland has been appointed Norway captain for this week's fixtures in the absence of Arsenal midfielder Martin Odegaard. He said he would simply be himself when wearing the armband in a straight-to-the-point response that set the tone for a box office half-hour in front of the cameras. Haaland doesn't like press conferences. He has enough media commitments by virtue of being one of the world's best players. He has only faced the written media 3 times during his time at City, with one being his unveiling and the other coming over the summer in the relatively safe environments of pre-season. He has a similar aversion to press conferences for Norway. One last season and now one this term. But like an inviting cross into the box, he didn't waste the opportunity to make sure he made his point emphatically and with no more exertion than is needed to be most effective. He assessed the room as he sat down, and there was an early volley back at a journalist who asked if his appointment as temporary captain would see him stop for an interview after his games this week. "We'll see if anyone wants to ask me any interesting questions." And he hit back at previous suggestions he was not committed to international football. He said, "Some of you have tried to paint a picture that I don't want to play for the national team, but you can bury that now. You can see how much I like to play for the national team." But when asked if he ever thought about the Norway goal-scoring record, he just replied no. That commitment to Norway won't change anything regarding his City career, and Pep Guardiola always tells his players to go and represent their countries, but it does mean he will be in line to play plenty of games during the season. Haaland was spiky again when comparing City and Norway's contrasting successes. "Why we here in Norway don't succeed? Good question. We have not succeeded since I was born. What can we do? Just work and try to succeed." And his view on the increasing schedule was telling. In the summer, he simply said, "What do you think?" This week he expanded, saying, "It's starting to become an awful lot of matches. I think it has been for some years. The Premier League started with a winter break for years ago. We won't see any more of that. There has been too many matches for several years, not just after the new Champions League format. It's nothing new, but it's becoming a lot." If you are a real Manchester City fan, activate the notifications for don't miss anything in next hours. Short of criticism of the authorities, but far from an endorsement. He also spoke of the energy he has after a summer off. "It will be exciting to see how long break I will get next summer," he joked. Haaland parted with a dig at a former journalist-turned-agent who has co-authored a book with excerpts from a player's WhatsApp group, a no-comment answer about meeting Cristiano Ronaldo on holiday, and a light-hearted insight into his daily diet. "I don't want to get into details," he said. "But I eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, probably as you do, but maybe I take some better decisions than you, especially at the weekends." And despite the guarded nature of his answers, Haaland offered an insight into the personal struggles he has experienced recently due to the death of a close family friend. "It puts things into perspective. Things you think matter a lot don't really mean much," he said. "It was a heavy and tough time, but circle of life. Suddenly, football doesn't seem as important. And press conferences definitely don't." Manchester United are showing Man City how not to replace Begiristain and Pep Guardiola. Manchester United and Man City are both facing decisions over the futures of their managers, but the cases of Erik ten Hag and Pep Guardiola couldn't be more different. Manchester City didn't panic when Chief Operating Officer Omar Barada left the Etihad for Manchester United last season. They won't panic now Begiristain is set to leave. And they won't panic if Pep Guardiola departs with his friend and longtime colleague in June or July. AS United continue to reach new levels of farce in their handling of Erik ten Hag's position. City is a sea of calm, even with completely unknown waters on the horizon, with Begiristain set to step down in the summer, and Guardiola likely to follow him unless he changes his mind. City could be heading into a new era next season. Begiristain has been the influential director of football behind their greatest period of success over the last 12 years. Guardiola has been the manager for 8 of those years and delivered unprecedented silverware. Good luck to whoever replaces them. If you are a real Manchester City fan, activate the notifications for don't miss anything in next hours. When Berardi swapped East Manchester for Salford, questions were raised over how significant the defection would be. Berardi was credited in playing a key role in Erling Haaland's signing, so a high-profile replacement would surely be needed, except City knew Berardi was only the top of a hard-working and experienced team, who have taken on his responsibilities without the need for an external appointment. Reports now suggest there will be a similar seamless transition for Begiristain's replacement, with a successor said to be chosen and starting in early 2025. City have known that Begiristain could leave for a long time, so have had time to plan for his replacement. That will give hope that there is a similar plan in place for whenever Guardiola gives notice of his decision to leave, whenever that may be. As Chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak said at the end of last season, this decision on Guardiola's future is always a decision that we will take together, and I have no doubt that we will find, as always, we have done, the right solution that works for Pep and works for us. Compare that to United, who can't make their minds up if they want to stick with Ten Hag's long-term process or take a glance at the Premier League table and get rid of him. They are lining up potential replacements and discussing his future in London meetings while the manager waits, for the second time this year, to learn his fate. United are still paying the price for botching their succession plan when Sir Alex Ferguson retired 11 years ago. City will be confident that they won't make the same mistakes. Not that City need lessons from United in how to manage their club, but even in the face of a significant upheaval of their football management department, the Blues will simply trust the process that has got them this far. Thanks for watching. See YA on the next videos. If you are a real Manchester City fan, activate the notifications for don't miss anything in next hours.